Guys, so when it comes to emotional, psychological abuse and narcissistic behavior, how do you identify the victim and how do you identify who the abuser is? Well, the abuser appears calm, charming, rehearsed. They like to manipulate and rewrite history, and they create chaos in their victims' lives. And then they play the victim. They control, intimidate, and project. Their image matters more than the truth of the situation. And they make out that they're perfect, they've done absolutely nothing wrong, and that the victim is the one with the issue. The victim, on the other hand, they respond to the situation very emotionally. They're overwhelmed, they're dysregulated, they over-explain, apologize, they have self-doubt, and they react to the chaos created by the abuser. They document everything, they take screenshots of everything for safety, they keep a record of what's happened, when, days, times, and all of that. They just want peace, stability, and clarity. So technically, when it comes to abuse, the abuser is always surrounded by people because they put on a fake front. They mask, they make out that they're perfect, they're so positive and loved and can do no wrong. And they make out the victim to be the bad person, and the victim's always isolated, alone, trying to get their head around what the hell has just happened, and then they apologize for being in the wrong when they're not in the wrong. It's the narcissistic abuser, that's how they gaslight. But yeah, you can always tell who the abuser is because they're surrounded by support, love, and people. The victim is always alone, isolated. People always pick on the victim like, oh, this person has severe mental health. This person's isolated. This person's lost all their support. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. It's just some abusers, they seek out vulnerable people. I'll give you an example. I had a support worker seek me out. I was an easy target because I was vulnerable, isolated, didn't have anyone advocating for me, and I was at the time going through cancer. So I was in the fight for my life. I didn't see the red flags. I was an easy target, and she could get away with how she was treating me. And you look at it now, she's surrounded by, everyone's praising her like she can do no wrong, yet she left me on the floor during a seizure. She told me to get up and function like an adult so she could go home at the end of the day and finish work and feel good about it. And she made it all about her when she was paid to support me in my disability support needs. And she made out that the reality of my life and my disability was the problem. And I was left unsupported for a month. I was left abandoned, alone, and isolated while she was surrounded by support. And yeah, so that's how you identify who's the victim and who's the abuser. The abuser is surrounded, they appear calm, charming, and they manipulate, they put on a fake front and act like they're so positive and whatever, but the reality is they're not. It's a mask. They're quite controlling, manipulative, and abusive, and they take advantage of vulnerable people and they get away with it, and the vulnerable person is left wondering, yeah, what the hell went wrong? So yeah, that's just a little bit on narcissistic abuse, emotional, psychological abuse, and how to identify the victim versus the perpetrator or the abuser.